Greetings from the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation. As those of you who tune into our various websites know that we cover a broad range of subjects, and one of our main focuses is tourism. And today we have a unique opportunity to have a discussion with Mr. Constantin Mohilnik, who has a very exciting and unusual project that he will be able to present to us today. And Mr. Constantin has just returned from a presentation at the UN, taking part, and this is a long title, Long-Term Strategy for Global Sustainable Development Based on Partnerships of Civilizations.
That's right.
That's quite a mouthful, but he will make a great sense of it. So, Constantin, please tell us about your project,
Yes.
which I understand is called Pole to Pole. And then a little bit about your presentation at the UN. But first about your overall project.
About our project, Pole to Pole project. It's first in history flight, a direct flight from North Pole to the South Pole. We start in northern territories of Canada in Alert, and then we land on the North Pole, the most risky part of our way, because the ice there is unstable now, and it changes. The situation changes every day. The reason why we fly there, it's not only the first flight in the history; it can be last flight in history because of melting ice in melting ice caps in the north. And because of this, it's getting unstable, and in a couple of years it will be impossible to land with any aircraft on the North Pole. So it's a big ecological project, big ecological event, and with this project we want to draw attention of people of all the whole humankind with the problems which have the humankind now. So rapid changes in the nature. So after landing on the North Pole, we fly to the South Pole with 7 stations. So it's Goose Bay, it's Barbados, it's Bermudas, Manaus in Brazil, Buenos Aires, Falkland Islands, Port Stanley, and McMurdo Station, American station on the North Pole. And then, after landing on the South Pole, we fly to different points, to different cities, which have suffered in the last time because of different natural disasters. For instance, Christchurch in New Zealand, Brisbane in Queensland in Australia, then to Maldives islands which are disappearing now because of rising ocean level. And the reason of this is melting ice caps, global warming and melting ice caps. Next, it's Chittagong. It's a territory in Bangladesh, which is threatened with flooding. Then Shanghai, Sendai in Japan. Then we fly to Russia, to Salehard. From Salehard we fly to Chernobyl in Ukraine, and then Venice, Egypt, Western Africa, New Orleans, New York, and then to Alert. It's a world tour.
Before we talk about your UN presentation of just a few days ago, this is not your first very extraordinary tourism expedition, I would say. Tell us a little bit about how you got here, and what are some of the other trips that you have planned, and maybe a little bit about your team, these very adventurous group of people that you have put together from different countries.
Our team for this flight is international. We have the captain of our flight is John Rivard. He's American. He lives in San Francisco. And this idea, the original idea of this pole-to-pole flight belongs him. It's his idea. The second pilot is a Russian cosmonaut, Yuri Lonchakov. He's very known in Russia. He was 3 times in outer space and 2 times out of
The spaceship.
So he's hero of Russia, and he is chief of command of Russian cosmonauts now. Other people in our team is Equities team. I'm part of Equities team. It's me and Goltis. We have a big record of different expeditions in all continents of the world. Not in Antarctica, not yet. It's another producer, Sergei Krutsenko, and it's very known director of photography, Sergei Mikhailchuk. Sergei Mikhailchuk is very known in Ukraine, is very known in Russia. He filmed in the United States, in Iran, in different countries. He's an ingenious cameraman and ingenious photographer. You can see his pictures on our website and different magazines. We made together contributions for National Geographic Ukraine, for Geo Ukraine, and things like that. About Equities team, about our team. This team exists since year 2000. We made expeditions in different countries, especially in Africa, in Western Africa, Southern Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho, Swaziland, Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and we filmed a lot nature and people. It's the most interesting thing for me, and to film people, to describe people. My project is called Earth Quest, Землеогляд, або Землеобзор, in different languages. It's description of different places, different people, different rights, and variety of different kinds of life in our on our Earth. So our big project 2 years ago was called Columbus Quest. It was a trip on a small yacht on the path of Christopher Columbus from Spain, from Palos de la Frontera, the point where Christopher Columbus began his journey to discover new continent. From Palos de la Frontera we came to Canary Island, from Canary Island to Haiti, to the Haiti island. The point of this expedition was experiment on human body and mind. How long you can live without food and without water. So we spent 40 days without food, 40 days, whole 40 days. First week, first 7 days, me and Andriy, it's another member of our crew, spent without water. So, you know, normally the medicine says that after third day without water, your body is suffering dehydration, and on 4th or 5th day you will die. And believing in this, people is dying. If you know that you can spend without water more, for instance 7 days like me, or 14 days like Goltis, because Goltis spent 14 days without water, you can live further. It depends, if everything lies in your brain and in your heart. So if you know that you can live without water 10 days, you will. So it was Columbus Quest. It was made with was a documentary film with Gérard Depardieu as a narrator, French actor. He played Christopher Columbus in the movie of Ridley Scott, Conquest of Paradise, and it was for him, I think, interesting experience to imagine how it goes for people who is discovering something like that.
So from recreating the Columbus expedition,
Yeah.
you are now planning your own unique never been done before expedition of going from pole to pole.
Right, yeah.
And your crew in itself signifies your approach about looking at world problems by bringing together different civilizations. Tell us now about, I'm sure that this was of interest and attractive, and one of the reasons you were invited to make your presentation at the UN. Tell us a little bit about that presentation, and then I understand you have other venues in the near future in Paris, or if I remember correctly. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it's right. We came to headquarters of United Nations 3 days ago. It was an invitation of academician Yakovets and Professor Chistilin. They are scientists which are developing different parts of theory of possibility of partnerships of different civilizations. They mean today on the Earth there are 12 different civilizations. West European, Middle European, Eastern European, North American, South American, etc., 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 Arabic, Muslim civilization, Hindu civilization, and things like that. And our common opinion, opinion of these people and opinion of our team of Pole to Pole is that only together, only United Nations and united this civilization, we can help, we can rescue our civilization, our general human civilization. Because of it, we are invited to this conference in the United Nations. It was very interesting for me because different people from different parts of United Nations took part in this conference. For instance, the chief of United Nations Alliance of Civilization, Mr. Mark Schroer, was there, and they invited us to take part in next conferences of United Nations. For instance, a contest of innovative projects. It will take part in Paris in September of this year, and next one is very interesting in Qatar, in Doha, in Qatar. It will be an auction of innovative and experimentative projects like ours. So we have planned next 2 steps to work together with United Nations. And a new thing, I just got called from Kiev, and our colleagues, another 2 producers of our project, Sergei Krusenko and Andrei Rizol, have visited the United Nations department in Ukraine, in Kiev. And it goes now about our participation of our team, of Pole to Pole team, in the global conference Rio Plus 20, in June of the next year. I think we'll work with United Nations organizations very closely because they have good history, they are known, and they have very interesting ecological programs and humanitarian programs. We have another program which calls Children's Earth. It goes about homeless children. There are a lot of them, and we have international charity foundation, Children's Earth, to help these children. And it's another point which we will work with United Nations as well. I'm working on it.
Well, it sounds, it is a very exciting project.
Yeah.
It appears that you are getting interest from different important quarters, but this is, you're really at the beginning or the first phase of developing this project, and so you are going to be looking to expand participations by different people and sponsors. Do you want to share a little bit of that in terms of, well, let's talk about the vehicle. I think it's a very interesting choice
Yeah,
of vehicle
it's
that you have
Douglas.
made.
It's legendary aircraft, legendary in cinema, because you know a lot of movies with participation of this Douglas DC-3. So we fly with Douglas DC-3 and turboprop engines. It's a special modification of DC-3, which will be purchased in Kansas City, and we will re-equip this vehicle especially for aerial shooting, because with this flight, during this flight, we will shoot a documentary in 3D. It will be a film for theaters, and as well it will be a series, short documentary series for television, like 24 parts and 24 films, half an hour each, to show different places where we will land, and especially places which are threatened with possible ocean rising of ocean level. So we have some products for big international distribution, and we are looking now for partnership to do it in co-production with big studios and big majors, so like that. It's a commercial project, and we are looking for investing in this project, yes, of course. It is a big international ecological event.
Our time is nearly up. Thank you so very much for bringing to us this very exciting project. Can you give us a website that our viewers, if they have interest in seeing more, you have some beautiful footage presenting your project, so if you can give us your website.
Very gladly. It's pole-to-pole.com. It's very simple.
So it's pole-to-pole.
Pole-to-pole.com.
.com.
.com, yeah.
Okay.
Simple.
So Constantin, thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.